What's up guys, it's Devin here, back again with another video, and Google has finally released Android messages for web. This is the first official solution from Google to be able to do SMS, MMS, and RCS from the web browser. We've had some other things like Mighty Text, Push Bullet, even something like Google Voice that let you do Google Voice SMS from the web browser, but nothing official for the actual native SMS, MMS standard messaging application. So I'm going to give you my first impressions. Let's get into it. To be honest, this was a long time coming, and I think it came a lot later than it should have. The iPhone has had this kind of functionality through iMessage and the Messages application on macOS since 2012. This is a 6-year head start. Now, this isn't something that Google wasn't able to accomplish for any real reason, as we had a lot of other alternative apps that sprung out. They were able to accomplish this, but I'm happy to see that Google has finally done this. It has been really nice and was kind of needed, in my opinion. Now, unlike the iOS solution where you have to use a Mac computer with the Messages application, Android Messages for Web actually works for basically any operating system and any web browser. So it's got support for Windows, macOS, Linux, Firefox, Chrome, Edge, and I'm pretty sure Safari. So no matter what device you're using on, no matter what PC you're using, you should actually be able to utilize Android Messages for Web, unlike the iOS solution. So this is very inclusive. Almost anyone with an Android phone can actually take advantage of this right now, and I am a huge fan of that. Now, one thing I want to make note of is the fact that this is really one of the first visible signs of the Allo and Messages merger that I actually talked about a few videos ago in my thoughts on Google shutting down Allo. So basically Google took those two different teams, combined them into one, and this seems to be one of the big feature releases that came out of that. So right off the bat, setting up your Android Messages for Web is actually very similar to what Allo was. You simply open up the option in your Android Messages app, and you go to scan a QR code on the website. Once you scan the QR code, your phone and your device are now paired, and you will start seeing your messages in the web browser. The UI is very similar to Allo for the web, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's very clean, it utilizes a lot of material design theming, and overall it feels really good and very natural, and it fits on a desktop screen very well. Android Messages for Web does offer a few nice features. First of all, you have the option to remember this computer, so it's very easy to go and use anyone's computer and try this functionality out once and be able to close out the tab and not have to worry about the user having access to all your SMS. So you actually have to go out of your way to set the computer to be remembered, and so you can log back in instantly and start retrieving your messages again. On top of that, only one computer can actually be accessing your messages at a time. So if you have the window open on one computer and you switch to another, you will be prompted to actually switch, and once you do, the first computer will actually become disabled only until you return to it again, and then you have the same prompt to switch back. So this is really nice because I can't think of at a time where you're really going to be using two computers at once like that to access your messages, and this is a huge privacy curve here. So if you forget that you're logged in at a friend's house or something like that, and you're on your own computer, you would know, or at least know that someone is looking at your messages if you've been kicked off. Android Messages for Web also offers a couple nice features, such as letting you know when you're not on Wi-Fi so you don't use too much data, when your phone battery is low, and a couple other things. So you can get a couple of nice insights on your actual phone, since you're probably not looking at that because you're using the web browser to actually accomplish your messaging and other tasks. Of course, there are desktop notifications, and you can turn these on and off very easily, as well as the message preview. So if you want to have notifications but you don't want the actual message content to show up, it's very easy. You just go into the settings on the web browser and turn that off. In the settings, you'll also notice a few other nice options, such as a dark theme, which is, I'm sure, a big crowd pleaser. There's not even a dark theme on the mobile app, but there is on the web browser. So if you like dark themes, that's nice. I'm going to stick to the light one right now. I think it looks really slick. Aside from that, stickers and emojis are built-in and first-class citizens, which is really nice to see. We don't have any predictive search like we did on Allo, which is a little bit disappointing, but like I mentioned before, these teams have merged, so I would love to see those features come back, because having predictive stickers and emojis really levels up the conversation for me. It makes things a lot more fun. You can flow off of that stuff a lot easier and even find some emojis and stickers that you never knew existed. One thing that this has that a lot of the other third-party solutions didn't really get right is MMS support. So if you want to send a picture from your computer or something like that, even though it's not probably going to come out very good due to the nature of MMS, you can. You can upload a picture and send it right away, and it's extremely seamless. Now, of course, this is going to be much better when RCS becomes a lot more prevalent. You're not going to have the compressed photos. You're going to be able to send a lot more stuff. Hopefully they update it to send files and anything else that the app, the mobile app gets updated for. But overall, I think this is an extremely good start and a very good foundation for RCS going forward. When I heard about Android messages for web coming out back when the kind of, I guess, RCS rebranding to chat that I mentioned also in the Allo video before, I kind of figured that maybe they would reserve this web browser texting for RCS to be able to capitalize on all the new features and everything. So it's extremely nice that it's already working for SMS and MMS, and I would imagine once RCS becomes more widely rolled out, you'll just fall back to SMS and MMS like you do now, and it will be extremely seamless and extremely nice. Very convenient, and if you can utilize the better features, then you'll just be able to have access to those, and the user probably won't even really notice. That's really all for now. I've had a great time so far. I've had very minimal issues, nothing that usually a refresh of the page didn't solve, and I think this is a great foundation for RCS and Android going forward. Let me know if you used Android messages for web. I'd be curious. Let me know if maybe you used Allo and how you feel it compares. This is a good alternative solution for us, old Allo users that have now been left in the dust. Me personally, I've switched to Telegram for a lot of my other messaging, so it hasn't really bothered me too much, but having native SMS on the web browser is extremely nice without the need for some third-party app. As always, you can find me on Twitter at ParanoidCoder or here on YouTube. I also co-host a podcast called Mod Chat with Mr. Mario 2011, so if you've not checked out his channel or that podcast, please do. We talk about modding video game consoles and have a ton of fun. We also have a live chat once a month when we actually air the podcast, so it'd be awesome if you guys could come on down and participate. We love having people in our audience. Anyways, that is all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.